Hey everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to Goodwill. I actually forgot to turn the camera on as we were walking in. It was a pretty busy day today and I saw toys and I started loading up on toys. These are brand new toys, by the way. Well, I'm going to find out later that some of the Nerf guns, I'll explain later, they were already pre-opened. We got some Marvel, we got Funko, Monster High in there. We're in the electronics section, kind of just checking stuff out here. It's nothing really that great. But there's another gun in there. It looked like a Nerf gun at first, but it wasn't Nerf. It was some other brand, and I'm gonna end up putting it back. That one tall orange box there that's in the cart, I am gonna end up putting that back though. But I mean, definitely get some good toys here. Definitely good stuff to resell. If it's new in the box, generally I'll make an exception to our, potential profit margin. But we're always trying to shoot $15 to $20 profit margin on everything we pick up if we can. If we're buying like singular items, if we're buying in bulk, generally we will, assess the overall profit on the whole, like bulk order or bulk products that we find. I'm gonna go ahead and scope out the sporting goods section here. Take a look at the golf clubs. I'm just gonna glance and look. Nothing really too great. Nothing really too great in the bags either that I found. There are bags here at this one in two locations. There's like bags and backpacks and luggage here, and then there's more of a section over against the yellow wall straight ahead, where they do have some other backpacks as well too. Not looking too good in the glass today. Today looked like mostly we just got some toys. And checking out these end caps, because you never know what's going to be hiding on these end caps. We have found some great stuff just, sitting right behind another larger piece. So you always got to look around, look behind, because you never know what is here on these shelves. The one thing about glass, and one thing you do want to look out for glass, especially what do you call it, like wine glasses, is if it's signed. If it's signed, and you can look, and first of all, it'll allow you to look it up a little bit better than just a plain glass piece. But also too, that signature usually means that there might be some value there, because that person is putting their name behind the product. And usually if it's signed, it's usually probably a handmade piece. And I found some great stemware or wine glasses at the Goodwill that has been signed. One pretty mainstream one to look out for, you'll find it like at Macy's and Nordstrom, is a Rydell glass, usually be in block letters, and that sells really well. Not for crazy profit, so you do have to get a good price for it, but it does sell very well. Another one is Estelle. Estelle stemware does really well. I sold just one Estelle glass one time. It was a blue glass, and I sold it for $40, a single glass. So you don't think like all glass is the same, and don't just walk right by the glass. Sometimes you do have to, look for those little details. Just check to see if it's signed. And then signed glass tends to be of better quality, and then you'll get a sense for the feel of the glass as well too, as you start to find signed glassware. I came back around to look at the end caps over here on this side, just to see what, if anything, we can find. There is quite a bit of people in today. I believe there was a rolling cart. There was a rolling cart out already, and wasn't very good. So sometimes when days like where you're not really finding too much, you really have to, just kind of, hopefully all the skills you have as a picker, as a sourcer, whatever you want to call yourself, you really got to put those skills to use, because the stuff isn't just, presenting itself right in front of the shelf, or right in front of everything else. You're gonna have to do some digging. You're gonna have to know, what quality looks like, what quality feels like. Yeah, the Starbucks mug. This is Pike Place Market in Seattle. It had a little chip on it, but I was gonna look this up. Starbucks originated from Seattle, so just gonna do a quick peek and just see if you gotta look these ones up, because you never know which ones are gonna be really valuable. Russian, the Starbucks mugs do really well. I sold a Moscow one for $80 not too long ago. And if you want to check out some some finds, just if you just want to scroll through some pics of just, I guess, bolo items, I'll post them on my Instagram, and I'll have a link to my Instagram in the description. But I also drop shorts on YouTube, so things to keep your eye out for, things that have recently sold. So do look out for those as well. But nothing really too good in the mugs here, and I'm not gonna just, I'm not gonna fill up my mug section completely yet. I'm still working through trying to sell off a bunch of mugs, get them moving. And some of them, I'm not making the profit that I want to make on them, but I want to get them out, make my money back at least, so I can put it back into the business, back into profitable items. So we are gonna look at the wood. I'm still a little disorientated by the layout of the store right now. It still has, they moved everything around, so as far as my normal route would be, it's completely messed up. The electronics are the same, the toys are the same, but like where the wood used to be, where the mugs used to be, everything's way off. This is just a little record player. Not, it's like looks like one that would be off of Amazon. Not very well made. So they have some glass carts out. A little Halloween section here. We have got some great Halloween decor, from Goodwills. Not just here, but other Goodwills too. I thought this guy might be worth something, but eh. Here, these are like those. I think they're by Thai, or the same company that made the Beanie Baby. That still makes Beanie Babies, I believe. Nothing too good here. And, I don't typically, pick up large appliances. I wouldn't pick up printers. Any used printers, I would definitely stay away from. You have to test them out. There's ink that's involved, so you may need ink if you want to test them out. You can try to sell them for parts, but, there's not really too much money in parts. I wouldn't get involved in printers. But as far as, like, large appliances and stuff, then you get into the shipping, make sure you have a box. So, it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to deal with it, by all means. I don't really like dealing with it unless there's big profit in it. As you can see, I've already kind of cleared out my cart, sorted through what's profitable, what's not profitable. We're coming down to the purses. Going to take a quick peek. I really don't need any purses, but I'm going to take a peek anyway, just in case. I grabbed a couple of these portfolios that were kind of interesting, leather bound. They were both, one was, I believe, Texas University, and the other one was from another university. I'm not sure, but wasn't really worth it. I appear to be going through this rather fast. It's not fast forward, but yeah, I'm not fast forwarding this. I mean, I guess that's how fast I was walking through here. But I was trying to get over here to the glass area, kind of take a look and see what is going on with the glass. Is there anything of value over here? There's other people here as well. And it's kind of been the same story here. Nothing too exciting. You probably, you know, you guys, if you guys watching this video, you've seen the glass. You've probably already seen all these items at this Goodwill. But I always like to take a look. Generally, you know, everything will be priced up that's in the glass, and but usually you pay more, you can get bigger profit. Just be cautious and make sure you you check your comps and you are buying at the appropriate price, so that way you can make a good profit for whatever you're going to list it for. They have a bunch of those red boxes are all like air pumps. Yeah, let me take a look at I wanted to take a look at something here in the glass, but that's why I was kind of waiting. I was going to kind of show you guys what I'm actually going to take. But the keys were missing for the glass, the guy said, so I never did get a chance to look in the glass, and I was like, ultimately it wasn't going to be worth it. There was some stuff inside some cases, and there may have been cameras. Halo. I mean, I'm going to go over all this too, you know, in the recap, but I just wanted to show you guys on camera while I'm at the store what I'm going to walk out the door with. Glass cat. Just checking it out. Just make sure there's no chips. Definitely check out with whenever you're buying glassware products, or pottery for that matter, make sure to check for chips or anything, because you can always miss it. Now we're going to sort through some clothes here. Just take a look really quick. Just because, you know, I really didn't find anything that great. Yeah, the toys are good. The toys are really good, and the fact that they're brand new is even better. But, you know, we are coming up into winter, fall, and I will start to look at some sweaters and jackets, just because there could be some value there. And at this Goodwill, they do tend to get some good stuff. And I've had some great success and great profit with coats and sweaters here at this Goodwill. However, today is not that day. Let me know if you guys, I don't pick up clothes regularly, but I did find that one sweater here, which we'll go over in the recap. If you guys see anything here that, you know, I should be picking up, I should be looking at, taking a closer look at, definitely drop a comment down below and let me know. Always trying to learn, always willing to learn new stuff. A lot of local schools and local, what do you call it, like leagues. REI jacket, kind of a retro looking jacket there. USA Olympics. But they do get some good quality clothes here, as you can see. However, the prices will probably be a little bit higher here on the outerwear clothes. So you really got to make sure that what you're going to pay for it, you know, you got to check to see what, you know, what the price is and see what it's currently going for on eBay. I've seen some coats here, like trench coats priced at $4 to $5, and then I'll see like a hoodie priced at $16. I'm like, geez. Fries.com, man, if that was my size, I'd definitely be buying that. Fries, man, they messed up. That was such a cool store. I would go there all the time for computer components. You know, every time I seemed like I was building computers all the time. I was always there. Interesting jacket. Just trying to get a feel for it. Just I was gonna look up the name. I'm just not familiar with it, so if I'm not familiar with it, I'm gonna look it up. I'll talk a little bit more in a future video regarding like niching down and, you know, should you just be a clothing seller? Should you just be a glass seller? Should you just be a toy seller? You know, when you have the eBay app, you could source in a lot of different categories. You know, some of them have their little nuances, you know, like electronics. You have to be able to test it. But you could definitely get a sense of, you know, all the categories that are on eBay. You can get a sense for what something's selling for. And if it's something where you don't really have to test it or anything, and, you know, you could probably sell it for good money. But can you ship it? That's the question. Do you have the boxes to accommodate whatever size that is? So having the eBay app in hand is the most valuable tool to a reseller, or even anybody that's just, you know, shopping and trying to get the best price. And, you know, definitely just, you know, check out, you know, what it's going for on eBay, Amazon, and that way, you know, you're not overpaying for anything. Every money saved goes right back into the business here. Ernie Reyes. Ernie Reyes, that is a local martial arts. And they're actually not his main dojo or taekwondo studio is actually not too far from where I live. And he was actually one of the original Ninja Turtles in the movie. Real nice guy. I didn't meet him. I actually know his I believe his uncle very well, because his uncle, who used to be my dentist. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up this trip here. Just scanning through the last bit of clothes, but here comes the recap. I didn't get a chance to put this in the intro because it sold so, or in the intro, in the recap, but this item sold so quickly. Look out for it. Bolo, Thor versus the Destroyer. Picked it up for, price tag still on here, $8.99. Sold for 33 bucks. Okay, so welcome to the recap here. We definitely got some great items to resell. Some brand new toys, which are always great. You saw the one toy that I already sold already, so that's already out the door. But then right off the bat, we got this Furry Friends, which I already removed the price tags on this. But this one right here should go for like $20, $25. All brand new in the box. I've never seen this before. I don't really go down that aisle at Target where this would be located, but just a great item. Again, new in the box is always good. If it's new in the box, no damage. Here's another one that you might want to pay attention to if there is any damage, especially to the box itself. But we have here a Funko. This is a Funko character. This is from the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This actually has a t-shirt in it and a Funko Pop. There is some box damage here, and with Funkos, you definitely want to make sure if there's a box damage. Personally, I'm not a fan of Funko. If I get any or see any, I'm already thinking of selling it. I don't collect them, not into that. But I do know if there's any box damage, definitely something that you want to be careful with, and it could prevent your item from selling as well. You could sell them loose, but obviously that brings less value than if they were in the original box. So that's pretty good. That's about $30 to $40 piece right there. That was a Target exclusive. Now this other thing here, Monster High dolls, the originals do go for good money, but they did re-release them. So this is another Monster High piece. $9.99 is what I paid. But this, you know, this should go for probably anywhere from $20 to $25. I've seen it for as much as $30 to $40, but We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Ultimately, I think I listed this at $30 already, and best offer. So I'm guessing it's gonna go anywhere from 20 to 25, and I'm willing to accept less profit if the item is new, it's easy to list, easy to store, just like this is. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be shooting these videos in my storage area, and I just got to get it. So what it is, I have, I've talked about this, that I have a small death pile. It's not crazy, but what it is, it's right in the center of my storage area. So it's always there. It's in front of my face. Every time I go up there, I'm always seeing it. So it keeps it in my mind that I gotta. And I've been pulling stuff from there and listing it along with his other stuff. But I've been having all this new stuff come in. I'm just trying to get through that. So I am going to be filming up there soon. So it should be better sound quality, and you'll get a chance to see my storage, the way I keep things stored. I just gotta get the floor. The floor is the problem. That's not clean, but it's a nice, just little, like, just storage on each side, behind it, and everything. So you'll get a chance to see where I keep all my stuff stored. And then these two things here, these do really well. These are the gel shooters. The only problem with these is I opened them up, and sure enough, and I've noticed this a few times, these little gel beads, they're not fully expanded when they come in this box. They are in a little package. You have to add water, but they're missing. The little package of those little beads is missing, and I got two of these, and they're both missing. So everything else is brand new in there, but for some reason people take the little beads out. So I'll have to sell those. I might not get as much as I hoped I would get, but probably about $20, $25. Again, new in the, well, not new in the box, but still in the box, package and everything. You can throw this like in one of those large bubble mailers that I have, and that'll be just fine. Then we got this cat. My wife handed me this cat, glass cat. This is nothing. This is not like a Murano piece or anything. Probably just from TJ Maxx, but it is a cat. People love cats. Nicely done glass. There's some chipping on the bottom, but look at it's a little cloudy on the bottom, so it's not nicely polished. If it was nicely polished, it would definitely lead me to believe that it was from, probably an artist of some kind. It would demand a little bit more of a premium if it was a nice, like, mirror polish on the bottom. But it's not, so it's probably just TJ Maxx piece. But it's nice, heavy. It's got great eye appeal to it. So probably $20 to $25 for this glass cat. I couldn't find exact comps, so I'm going off of what I've sold in the past. But I'm going to have offers open, and we'll ultimately see what a buyer is willing to pay for this. And if I see this, I'm going to hopefully it sells quick, and it'll give me a good idea of, should I buy it in the future, should I not buy it in the future? Am I just going to make my money back, or am I going to make a little bit of profit? We don't know, but we will see on that item. This jacket here definitely has a bit of a track history on eBay, so this is Freedom Industries. It's a nice, heavy, thick, kind of zip hoodie, full zip up hoodie. It's got the American flag patch on the side. What is that? This one here on this arm here, the American flag patch on the shoulder area. So this is like probably about $30 to $40 on this one. So that should be pretty good. I think one was listed for $39.99, but someone took an offer, so pretty good buy. We'll make some good profit on it, at least in our between $15 to $20 range that we like to be at. And that's a guideline. It's not a set rule that we have, because if you buy things in bulk, it's a different story. Like at the flea market, when I'm buying big lots, I'll tend to look at the profit on the overall lot instead of the individual pieces that are in there. And then Halo, of course. If you're a gamer, I mean, when Halo 2 came out, oh my goodness, that was insane. We played that and played it every single night we could. I was working at the time. You may have catched in the previous video, but I had access to a couple of digital projectors. I mean, they were huge. They weren't like tiny projectors, but it was back like when those types of projectors were starting to come out to the masses. I think at the time they were something crazy like $2,000, and so I would borrow them from the company. I was the IT guy, so I was the one setting them up. So I would borrow them, and we would set them up at a friend's house, and we usually have one in each room, hook the speakers up to it, the Xboxes to it, and we were gaming all night. It was crazy. We would go to Jack in the Box, and we would get probably like 80 tacos from Jack in the Box. It was wild times, and just be playing Halo 2 all night. That was fun. It is the weekend, by the way. Okay, that's everything, right? That's everything. Okay, so what I wanted to discuss today was about the platform we sell on. And this channel, we talk about eBay because that is what I primarily sell on. And that is what I want this channel geared toward, is sourcing for eBay and how to maximize our profits on eBay, how to get sales on eBay. So, if anybody has any, any questions, anything you want me to, comment on, drop a comment down below. I'm going to start including my Instagram, so you can always DM me on Instagram. And I'm willing to help. I'm a small channel, small-time YouTuber here, who has had, great success on eBay. I highly recommend starting on eBay. I know a lot of people, because my feed on eBay is getting filled with people having problems with eBay, problems with Veros, problem with counterfeits. Everybody's having a ton of issues on eBay right now. But I don't see that. I don't have that problem, and I don't know. A lot of these people are seasoned sellers, and I don't know why. What am I doing right that other people are probably not doing correctly? I want to say wrong. Maybe it's just not optimized, or it's not as efficient, which is one of the reasons why I want to bring this information out there to everybody in YouTube world that is struggling. Look at what I'm picking up. This is the stuff I'm sourcing myself and putting into my store, and it's selling. So I hope that this content is helping everybody, and because the biggest thing, the number one thing, are sourcing, getting the items and getting them for the right price. If you don't have great items, they're not going to sell. And one thing I do hear a lot about people saying that eBay is no longer the place to go for mainly unique items or unusual items. I mean, and my thoughts on that are, yes, I remember the old days in eBay. I started in 1999. The first thing I bought on eBay was a pack of Jake Plummer, the quarterback, NFL, played for the Cardinals, considered the next Joe Montana. Jake Plummer rookie cards. I bought a big pack full of his rookie cards. That was the first thing I ever bought on eBay. And then I had to go get a money order because I didn't have any checks at the time. So I had to go get a money order from a bank or some of the grocery stores, mail my money order in. Then it took like 2 weeks to get 2 to 3 weeks to get your stuff back then. So wild times, but it was great. We were able to get cards that we didn't necessarily have access to in our local area, or waiting for a show to come up, and we'd go to a show and find them. But that was my first That was the first purchase, was a pack of Jake Plummer rookie cards on eBay. So, but yeah, I do miss the old days of eBay when things were a little bit more. It was more what I would consider like a garage sale, flea market. It is becoming a little bit more filled with a lot more mainstream. I miss the old, bidding wars and stuff like that. I actually used to get in bidding wars with my friends locally. I didn't even know they were bidding on stuff, and so we would go back and forth on them. So definitely miss the old day, but everything changes. Everything moves, evolves, grows. And, eBay can't, necessarily rely on those weird and unique items that maybe one or two people are going to look for. Here, I'm going to tell you something. I look for unique things as well, too. Sometimes there are weird, bizarre things that I need to find, that I need either, for if I'm building a computer, if I'm working on somebody's computer, if I need something that is that is going to help me. Here's something that I have looked for in the past that is incredibly unique because it's unique to it's specific to motherboards or computer cases. I have a computer right here. It's a computer I'm working on listing right now. It's an unusual computer, but see this back plate right here, where you plug in like your keyboard and everything, your USB and all that. So those back plates are unique to the motherboard. More modern motherboards are coming out with those pre-built in already, but not a lot of them are. Those are higher end, but some of them, when you buy a motherboard, when you're about to assemble a computer, you need a motherboard, and they'll come with the little backplate. It's we call it an I/O shield or input/output shield. So, and it's unique to that motherboard. So, when people are computer builders, when people break down computers, usually that's the first thing that gets lost, or it stays with the case usually. As people take the motherboard out, they'll throw the case in the garage, or eventually the case gets thrown out, and that I/O shield is lost forever. A few years down the road, they stop making that motherboard, so how are you going to get another I/O shield? Well, I've looked on eBay. There are people that you could potentially find the originals, which would be great, but there are people that just make them for individual motherboards, and they're not, fast sellers at all. They would wait for somebody like me who buys a motherboard locally that is missing that, and I would like to have that because it completes the look of the computer, otherwise it looks incomplete. And so I'll go on eBay and find it, and I do that pretty regularly when I'm, actually I haven't done it recently because I haven't really been building that many computers. This was all pre-pandemic when I was building more computers, but I would go on eBay and order them just because it's a clean, when you have that I/O shield, the rear of the computer looks clean, doesn't look unfinished. So that's a very unique item, and it's unique to specific motherboards, and to get even more specific, it's unique to computer builders, or anybody that's looking to build a computer, or people that buy secondhand parts. So that's something very unique that I do look for, actually, and used to look for on a regular basis. And I'm glad eBay is there to help me purchase those items, because I don't know where else I would look for those. There used to be a computer store locally that would keep a bunch like loose in stock, and you can kind of find your best choice, but on eBay I can find the exact one I need. But it's not a fast seller. How many people are looking for motherboard I/O shields? Not that many. Computer builders aren't, a big market. I mean, yeah, computer builders are big. I mean, they have stores, for computer builders, but there's a lot more people out there than computer builders. So so that market for uniqueness is still there, but just like when I buy unique items, or what I would call long tail items, those items I'm not expecting to get a return back very quickly. I'm already aware of that. I already know that. And how do I know that? By going on eBay and looking at solds. Going into Terapeak and looking at solds. You could potentially subscribe to, I always forget the name of that. There's one that goes even further back on eBay, but it's not associated with eBay, but it pulls information off of eBay's website. WorthPoint. You can go on WorthPoint and look back even further. But those, if you have to look that far, those are long tail items. Those items where you're not going to expect a return anytime soon. So that's money you're going to throw at it. It's like everyone gambling. When you go gambling, you go with a set amount of money that you do not want to, that you don't mind missing. If you if you go gambling without money, with money that you need, don't go gambling, please. But go gambling with the amount of money that you're willing to lose. And that's how I look at long-term items. I buy those items already knowing that I am not gonna see that money back for maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe a year. Just depends. But the goal is to eventually get that money in. And I do know some of my long-term items, they sit for a little over a year before selling. If it goes beyond like a year and a half, I'm already questioning the buy. I'm already questioning, should I keep it around? Should I just lower the price or fire sale it and just get rid of it? So it's all handled on a case by case basis. And long tail items that I personally purchase, are computer stuff that I am a expert in and have well over 20, maybe 25 years, 25 years, probably 25, yeah, like 25, 26 years experience in. So, I am an expert in that area, and if they are long tail items, they would be in that category. But, but your business, if your goal is to make this a full-time job, a part-time job, to get an income in daily, bi-weekly, every month from eBay, then you can't rely on long tail items. So checking your comps is key, because that is going to tell you what is selling within the last 3 months. Now, the platform, eBay, the platform, will give you that information. It will tell you that what is selling within 3 months. You type in the item, you go to a search. As you see me do sometimes I have to pull down and refresh the screen, and then it'll populate with what is there. Don't know why it does it, but it does it to me. It doesn't do it on my wife's phone. My wife has an iPhone, but it doesn't do it on hers. But for some bizarre reason, it does it to me. I don't know why exactly, but sometimes I just hit a refresh and boom, it pops right up. But I'll go on there, filter by what has sold first. Are there any solds? Yes. How many are sold? I don't know, 10, 20 items. All right, cool. How many are listed right now? Like 10 to 20 items. That would be best case scenario. And that would be, all right, I'm definitely buying that item, and I know it's going to sell within 3 months. This is going to, it's going to be, what am I buying it for? How much does it cost? You need to make that determination if you're going to make the profit that you want to make. If you're into high volume, low profit, and then you can spend a little bit more on that item. If you're into, spending low, high profit, then, if it's like, if it's, let's say the item sells for $10, if you're if you operate by moving a lot of product, making low profit, you can probably spend $5 on it, and you would be perfectly fine. If you operate where you need more profit per item, you probably want to get it for like $1 or $2. So take that into consideration when you're buying and sourcing your items. This will also help you in determining if you're going to make a profit based on your shipping costs, based on promotions or advertising. So make sure that's all in your head as you're looking at the item. At the point where I'm at now, it's second nature. It's already like calculating. My brain's already going as I'm looking at something. So you'll get to that point too. Everybody will get to that point eventually. It just takes some time. It just takes time to get there. So don't worry. Don't worry. You guys can get there too. Now, so the platform. If the item is not on that platform, if you don't see any solds, if you see only listed, don't buy it, because nobody is looking for it. Nobody is on that platform searching for the item. There may be certain instances where there's an exception to the rule, but that is rare. That is really rare. But it does happen where maybe these people have it in the wrong category. Maybe they just have it too highly priced. Maybe you're only spending 50 cents on it, and they have it. Maybe their buy cost is higher, therefore they have to offer it at a higher price. There are instances where that could occur. But if there's listed, no sold, typically stay away from the item. If there are no sold and nothing listed, you stay away from that item. Do not buy it. If you're starting out, if you're just getting started, if you're having trouble with sales, you don't see any confirmed solds or any confirmed listings of that item, do not buy the item. People are not on eBay looking for it. eBay's probably not even going to, the item's probably not going to get any traction on eBay, because why? If there's nobody actively looking for it, why should eBay push that item out to anybody? If you promote it, who are you promoting to? Nobody's looking for it. Even if you see it on another platform, that's not necessarily that it's confirmed sold. As far as I know, eBay is pretty much the only place where you can go on there and look at what has sold in the past. If you see that item on another place, if you know it's sold at an auction or something like that, go sell it there. Don't put it on eBay and then complain that it's not selling on eBay, because there's no history of it. There's no sales history of that item.
And be aware of the platform that you're on. Just remember, eBay makes money by you selling items. eBay doesn't produce a product. You the seller, you're the one that is out there either producing a product, making a product, looking for products to put out there. You're you are the one that is generating income for eBay. So it's not like Amazon. Well, it's not like Amazon, where Amazon, Amazon does make a lot of products themselves. I mean, they brand a lot of stuff. Maybe they don't make it themselves, but they brand it. They slap their branding on it, call it Amazon Basics, and that's their own item. So sometimes they compete with other sellers, but I'm not 100% familiar with Amazon. I've never sold on Amazon myself, but it seems pretty cutthroat on there. And they have a lot of unique stuff too. They sell a lot of unique stuff. They also sell, your everyday items, groceries. They sell because the things that are going to keep you in business, they're going to keep making you money, they're going to keep you going week to week, day to day, however, are those items that are going to sell continuously all the time. On Amazon, they sell toilet paper, they sell groceries, they sell all that stuff. So they're making money, quickly. But then they also have larger items where people have to, maybe I'll wait to buy that. Maybe I'll buy that later. And then you get that, and finally, eventually, you get those people like, all right, I'm ready to buy that $100, $200, $300 item, So, yes, it's great that you can find unique items on eBay. But selling unique items isn't a business that is sustainable. You got to have items that move quickly so you can keep the flow of money. I've talked about this before. When the flow of money stops, then there's issues, not just personally, but there's issues with the overall economy if money stops. Money needs to keep moving. It needs to keep circulating in order for it to work. That's why whenever there's like Ponzi schemes and all that, when people start taking everybody's money, then they can't give it back to them. They're like, oh, I can't give you back any money. That's a disruption to the flow of money. That's why governments comes down so. That's why like the U.S. comes down so hard. It's almost like a Bernie Madoff, or it might not seem like hey, he goes to like a white collar prison or whatever, but nonetheless, I mean, he's in prison. So did he pass? I don't know if he passed away or not, but if he's still in prison. I mean, I know he's still in prison. He would be still in prison, but. That's why, because you can really collapse the government by stopping the flow of money, currency. So you got to keep the flow of money going. You can't rely on long tail items, unique items. One more example is a great store that I always frequented. And you can always rely on it to find something. That's Radio Shack. Such a unique electronics. If you're into building anything electronic, Radio Shack was your go-to. But not everybody's into building electronics. Not everybody's into needing circuit boards or soldering irons. Not everybody is into that. So what happened? Like towards the end, Radio Shack started to sell cell phones. They got into other markets where they can move money and they can increase daily sales. But ultimately it didn't work. Ultimately they ended up failing. So we have to think along the lines of, okay, what are we going to do to generate money, generate income now? Then, okay, we got some good cash flow going. We're buying some items. They're selling pretty good. Then we can start thinking of, okay, what can we buy that maybe might sit on the shelves for a little bit, but, it will move eventually. Then you can start thinking of that. You got to have the storage space. You got to have, first of all, the cash flow as well, too. You got to make sure to be okay with that money being tied up in something. So there's a lot of factors that go into sourcing that have to go through your head when you're sourcing product. It's not just, ooh, look at that, I'm gonna buy that. Look at these shoes. First of all, I keep pulling these shoes out. They're dunks. They're dunks. They're like the high what do you call it? They're heels. Basically the insert is the heel, not necessarily the shoe. But there's a bunch of confirmed solds on this. There are all kinds of solds. So, but it's still sitting around. I have best offer on it. It hasn't sold yet. It is a higher end item. I listed it for $120. Best offer. So it might be off season because we are heading into fall and everything. But I mean, dunks. Nike dunks still sell. They sell well. Prices have gone down, yes, but you got to follow the trends. You got to follow the trends. We'll talk a little bit more about trends and all that stuff, and currently, what to be on the lookout for. But make sure you have long tail items. Make sure you have short tail items or items that sell quickly. Make sure that if it's not on the platform, don't be buying it, because people. Sorry, I'm just looking at some solds here really quick. Just making sure. Okay, yeah, we're good there. Okay. Solds are happening. Solds are always happening. So, if you have a great, efficient store, if you have good items you've been sourcing, you're gonna have sales. You just have to be able to price right and source the right items. So, get to know the platform. Learn the different tools the platform has to offer. We're talking about eBay here because that's what I primarily sell on. That's what I want this channel geared towards. With a long breath. Make sure you're checking solds. Check to see what's listed. If there's no solds, I wouldn't buy it. If there are no solds, none listed, nobody's looking for it. Maybe people have tried and they just dumped it. Finally said, forget it. We're not even going to put this on here. And then, if there are plenty of solds, plenty of listed, it'll probably sell for you. You have to price it right. Make sure you buy it at the right price so you can price it right. Otherwise, that is it, guys. Let me know. Please leave a comment down below. Appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you to new subscribers. And that'll wrap up this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.